Hey everyone, it's Jessie from Condo to Cottage. So I have been trying to do this video for the last few days, but it is, I believe, July 23rd, and this whole last week it has been 90 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. And then this morning it's raining. So I am here sitting in my living room, surrounded by seed packets on my floor, and I hope you don't mind that. So I wanted to talk to you guys about extending your garden season and extending your summer garden. So we will be talking in August about your fall garden, but we're not there yet. You're not done with your summer garden. So you do need to start planning ahead, and I'll mention some seeds you want to make sure that you have, but for fall. But you're not done yet with summer. So what you're going to do, what I want you to do, is you need to have the information first. Okay, so you're going to look up what the expected first frost date is for your area. So this is super easy. I'm in zone, I have my notes here for all my vegetables. I'm in zone 6A and here in New Jersey, and that means for me, my first frost date, and you can look this up online, you can Google it, and it's probably going to take you to the Farmer's Almanac. It says that my first frost date is October 12th. Okay, so that is, you have to take that with a grain of salt though, because, for example, it said my last frost date was May 1st. And if you remember, the beginning of the season, we had frost after Mother's Day. So, which is way past May 1st. So, you know, everything it's just an estimate, but we're going to work with that. So you go there, you look up first frost date for your zip code. All right. Type that in. Google's going to tell you your expected first frost date is blah, blah, blah. Then you're going to take that date and you're going to go back to Google and you're going to say, how many days left until that date? So for me, it's October 12th. So I looked it up today. I've got 80 days. All right. So what that means is that any seed packets that I have, I went through and I'm finding how many of my frost tender crops, meaning the ones that will die in a frost, how many of them will produce fruit in under 80 days. All right. And that's super easy to find. So you're going to go and you're going to look. So for example, this is a variety of cucumber and it says on the back, harvest 53 days. Okay. And a lot of them will tell you if it is frost tender or not. All right. This one actually doesn't say it. It's kind of frustrating because some seed packets say things that other ones do not. For example, some of my Baker Creek seeds, they will say directly under there, frost hardy. Yes. All right, this is that really cool one I have, Love in a Mist Jekyll mix. I didn't know it was frost hardy, so that's really cool. So you want to look and see, okay, how many days to harvest? So cucumbers, now especially your pickling varieties. Pickling variety cucumbers are going to be 50 to 55 or a little like in 50 to 60 days, let's say. Okay, so you're going to want to plant this week. You're going to go out there and you're going to plant some cucumbers. Now, even if you don't have pickling cucumbers, let's say you have Market More or, like a normal slicer cucumber, you can still get a harvest out of that. It just takes them longer to mature. So you might not get as many out of it, but you're still going to get them. All right. I can't find my Market More. That's okay. You can still get that. So go plant cucumber seeds. Now here's the tricky thing. Your garden is in full swing right now. It is producing, okay? So you're not going to try and go and tear stuff out right now. In a month, we're going to talk about that, all right? However, right now, you don't want to go tear stuff out. So you want to go and find a space where you can plant a cucumber seedling and it will be okay and it can grow. And then when the other cucumber plants come out, you can, take the space. A great way to do this is if you do have containers. If you don't, that's okay. Find a little corner in the garden. All right, so cucumbers are one. Another one you can do if you have them, beans. All right, beans are typically, again, 55 to 60 days. Get some beans in the ground. So I did the other day purple potted pole beans, and they are 56 days. So that's gonna give me plenty of time to get a harvest off of that. Another one you're gonna want to do that is actually super exciting for people is zucchini, summer squash. All right, so you can actually get another summer squash harvest. And you might be thinking to yourself right now, as you're like drowning in zucchini in your kitchen, oh my God, I wouldn't want another summer squash harvest. You actually would be surprised. You're gonna miss it when it's gone. All right, so you can get another zucchini harvest. Zucchini and cucumber actually prefer temperatures in the 60s. All right, a lot of people don't realize that because they're a summer crop. But right now, they are stressed out. They don't like these 90-degree days. They don't like the bugs that are going on right now, the squash bugs, the vine borers. They don't like those pests. That kills them. So right now is actually not the best time in your garden for fully grown zucchini and cucumbers. So plant yourself 1 or 2 more zucchini plants if you have space. Again, they start small, so you've got, you don't have to clear a 3-foot radius right now. Start it small, plant it, you're going to have a whole second harvest. Other things I'm going to be planting, beets. All right, so beets are usually 50 days. So some of these things you can do again in mid-August. That's called succession sowing. So you plant a harvest, or you plant your seeds, and then again in a few weeks you plant more seeds. So beets, beans, cucumbers, you can actually do these again in August, which is crazy. But beets you can do now. So I have 2 varieties. They're about 50 days. I'm going to go put those out. And you can intersperse them throughout other things. You don't, like, a lot of people get stuck on like, well, I don't have the space. Plant them in between things that, you don't have to keep all your beets together. Plant them in random spots. So what? You're going to have beets that come up in random spots. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Nobody said they have to all be together. All right. So that's another one. And then rutabagas. So I'm super excited for this. Where did I put them? So rutabagas, I have never planted before, but I have read a lot about them, and they basically, you can use them like a potato. So, okay, we're going to give that a shot. Why not? Let's experiment. All right, so I'm going to plant those. If you have turnips, you can plant those now. So a lot of those things, you're going to go out this week and get them in the ground if you have the seeds. If not, I want you to start looking around for seeds, because we can do this again anytime between now and whenever, you figure if a lot of those are a 60-day variety and we have 80 days left, you've got another 2 weeks and you're in good shape. All right. So another thing you need to think about is in August, either mid to late August, you're going to start planting your fall garden. And for your fall garden, you're going to focus more on your frost hardy crops, which would be like your brassicas, like broccoli, kale, kohlrabi, Swiss chard, cauliflower. I think I'm missing one. Cabbage, if you like cabbage. Those things like the cooler weather, all right? But if you want, what you could do to give them a bit of a head start is plant them inside now in temperature controlled, so it's not as hot. Plant them inside just like you did in the spring, and you're going to then, when mid-August, you can put them outside. So those are the things. Broccoli, any of your broccoli family, your brassica family, those cold hardy crops, you're going to want to start in seedling form now in the next week or so, and then in August you can transplant them outside. All right. Other things that you're going to be looking to plant in August are things like bunching onions, carrots, your root vegetables, so like radishes, peas are frost hardy, and then lettuces and spinach. So you want to make sure that you are good with those seeds. I know that a lot of the online sources of seeds are tapped out. However, I was just in Tractor Supply the other day picking up chicken stuff, and they still have seeds there. I know like Walmart probably still has seeds. So big box stores are equipped to have them. It's a lot of these smaller companies that I actually usually get my seeds from that are struggling because they just don't have the inventory, and they got totally bought out right in the spring because it's a pandemic and everybody wanted a garden, which is amazing, but they just didn't have the inventory to keep up. So go to your big box store and get some seeds for yourself. And that is really it. All right, so that's it in a nutshell. It doesn't need to be super complicated. Just go out there and just throw some seeds in the ground and see what happens. Some of these things, you know, like your radishes and your spinach and your lettuce, we're going to plant those in late August because even they need the 60s to be happy. And even in those August, you know, the first part of August, it's just too hot for them to even germinate. And some of the things might not germinate the first time around. So like when you go out, I had this happen with my Swiss chard. Only 2 or 3 came up. When you go out, if you plant your cucumber seeds and you go out in a few days, and let's say it says on there, a lot of times it'll say how long it takes. Seedlings emerge in 7 to 14 days. Well, if I go out there in a week or 10 days and I don't see anything, I'm probably going to plant more cucumber seeds. All right, because it might have just been too hot. The conditions might have just not been right for them to germinate. And that's the thing when you plant direct sow into the ground. You can't control those conditions, so sometimes things happen. Don't be afraid to go plant some seeds because you've got time in that window before your first frost. All right. Okay, guys, if you have questions, there are a ton of videos that are way more informative that go into detail on temperature ranges and stuff. So you can look up extending your summer garden, fall gardening. So there's a ton of videos out there. Again, some of my favorite channels are Roots and Refuge Farm, and My Gardener, the gardening channel. There's a bunch, and they're super informative. But if you do have questions specifically for me, I will get you the answer that you're looking for. So just comment below or send me pictures or anything that you have going on and that you have questions on. All right. And as always, if you could give me a thumbs up like on this video, and you can subscribe to the channel so that you get updates when I do videos. And that would be fantastic. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon.